Have you ever looked into a woman's eyes, noticed the way her words shift, and wondered, does she secretly want me sexually? The truth is, women rarely come out and say it directly. They won't announce, I want you right now. Instead, they wrap it inside subtle phrases, innocent-sounding words that carry a hidden invitation. And if you don't know how to listen, you'll miss your moment. But if you can recognize these signals, you'll unlock a part of female desire that most men never get to see. Welcome back to the channel, where we decode the psychology of attraction, seduction, and masculine confidence. If you want to stop guessing about women and finally understand how they reveal their sexual interest, then stay locked in. Because today, I'll expose the 7 subtle things women say when they want you sexually. And I promise you, if you notice even 2 of these, she's not just interested, she's craving you. Let's get started. The first thing she'll say is, I feel so comfortable around you. Now, most men hear this and think, oh, she sees me as a friend. Wrong. Comfort is the foundation of sexual desire. Women can't surrender to intimacy unless they feel safe in your presence. When she says she's comfortable, she's not just complimenting your personality, she's subconsciously telling you, I trust you enough to let go of my guard. Think about it. In today's world, women are constantly cautious. They're aware of who's watching them, how men are perceiving them, and how safe they feel in someone's presence. So when she looks you in the eye and says, I feel like I can be myself with you, what she's really saying is that her barriers are dissolving. And when barriers dissolve, desire awakens. Here's the psychology. Sexual attraction in women isn't only about physical looks. It's about emotional permission. A woman gives herself permission to desire you once she feels she won't be judged, rejected, or hurt. Comfort creates that permission. So when she highlights how comfortable you make her feel, she's not friend-zoning you. She's opening the door to a deeper, more physical connection. Picture this. You're sitting with her late at night, maybe after dinner or a drink. The conversation is flowing. She leans back, smiles softly, and says, you know, I feel really comfortable with you. Like, I don't have to pretend. Most guys would nod and brush it off. But the man who understands attraction realizes this is the moment to lean in a little, to let his presence grow stronger. Because she's giving you a green light, just not in obvious words. Mini summary. When she says she feels comfortable, it's not about friendship. It's about trust. And trust is the very soil in which sexual desire grows. If you ignore it, you'll miss your chance. But if you read it correctly, you'll know she's silently telling you she's ready for more. Have you ever noticed how women rarely say exactly what they mean when it comes to desire? They'll never just come out and confess, I want you right now. Instead, they speak in code. They use small phrases, subtle hints, and carefully chosen words that sound innocent on the surface, but underneath, they carry an entirely different meaning. The mistake most men make is taking those words at face value. They hear her say something sweet, soft, or playful, and they assume it's casual. But what if I told you that the real giveaway of a woman's sexual attraction isn't in her body language alone, it's in the way she speaks? If you know how to decode her words, you'll realize that she's been hinting at her desire all along. Welcome back to the channel, where we break down the psychology of attraction, seduction, and masculine confidence. Today, I'm going to reveal the 7 subtle things women say when they secretly want you sexually. And if you're listening carefully, these signals are impossible to miss. Because once you recognize even a few of these, you'll know with absolute certainty, she doesn't just like you, she desires you. Stay locked in until the end, because the 7th phrase is the most powerful of all, and once you hear it, you'll never mistake her intentions again. Now let's begin. The first thing she'll say is, I feel so comfortable around you. Most men hear this and panic. They assume they've been friend-zoned. They think comfort equals platonic. But the truth is, comfort is the foundation of sexual intimacy. A woman cannot truly surrender to attraction unless she feels emotionally safe in your presence. When she tells you she feels comfortable, she's revealing that her guard is coming down. And when her guard comes down, her desire comes alive. Here's why this matters. Women live in a world where they're constantly aware of judgment. They're cautious of how men perceive them, how they're being watched, and how safe they feel when they're vulnerable. So when she looks you in the eye and says, "I feel like I can be myself with you," she's not just being nice. She's letting you know she trusts you. And trust is the doorway to intimacy. Imagine this. You're sitting across from her, maybe at a dimly lit cafe or after a late dinner. She leans back, brushes her hair over her shoulder, and says softly, "You know, I just feel so comfortable around you." That's not friend energy. That's a quiet confession. She's hinting that she's relaxed enough to let things progress without fear. The psychology is simple. When a woman feels comfortable, she gives herself permission to desire you. It's not about the friend zone, it's about lowering resistance. If you miss this cue, you'll think she's only being kind. But if you recognize it, you'll know she's silently inviting you to escalate. Mini summary: comfort is not the absence of attraction. Comfort is the soil in which attraction grows. When she says she feels safe, she's telling you she's ready for the next level. Now, the second thing she'll say is even more playful. She'll say, "You always make me laugh." On the surface, it sounds like she's complimenting your sense of humor. But underneath, this phrase is loaded with sexual energy. Why? Because laughter is disarming. Laughter is how women allow their defenses to dissolve. And when her defenses are gone, she's open to intimacy. Think about it. Women are attracted not just to men who look good, but to men who make them feel something. Laughter floods the brain with dopamine, the same chemical that drives pleasure and reward. When she tells you, "You always make me laugh," she's telling you that being with you feels good. And pleasure is the root of sexual connection. But there's another layer. Humor isn't just about jokes, it's about timing, confidence, and presence. When she acknowledges that you make her laugh, what she's really saying is, "Your energy excites me." Laughter, in this context, isn't just funny, it's foreplay. Picture this: you tease her playfully, she laughs, maybe even touches your arm, and says, "Stop, you always make me laugh." That "stop" isn't rejection. It's invitation. It's her way of saying, "Keep going. I like where this energy is taking me." Mini summary: when she points out how much you make her laugh, she's confessing that she associates you with pleasure. And pleasure is what drives her closer to intimacy. The third subtle thing she'll say when she secretly wants you sexually is, "I was thinking about you earlier." This one is powerful, because it means you've already invaded her mind when you weren't physically present. Women are emotional creatures, and when she tells you that she was thinking about you, she's giving you a rare glimpse into her private world. At face value, this phrase sounds harmless. Maybe she says it casually, "Oh, I was thinking about you when I passed that coffee shop." But beneath the surface, this is her testing the waters. She's signaling that your presence lingers with her, even in your absence. That's not just interest, that's desire. Here's the psychology. When someone occupies our thoughts repeatedly, it's because our brain is associating them with strong emotions. Attraction, longing, and curiosity all trigger the same neurological patterns. So when she confesses, even playfully, "I was thinking about you," what she's really saying is, "You've become part of my inner world." And here's the key: women don't casually admit this to men they aren't attracted to. Why? Because it risks vulnerability. To say, "I was thinking about you," is to admit you had an emotional pull on her when you weren't even around. That's not friendship. That's desire slipping through her guard. Imagine this: it's late at night, you get a text from her out of the blue that reads, "I was just thinking about that joke you made the other day, it still makes me laugh." Or maybe she says in person, with a sly smile, "I was thinking about you earlier today." On the surface, it seems innocent. But read between the lines, it's her way of saying, "You're in my head. And I kind of like that you're there." Mini summary: When she tells you she was thinking about you, she's revealing that you're not just in her environment, you're in her imagination. And imagination is where desire grows before it becomes reality. Now let's move to the fourth subtle thing she'll say, "You just get me." This phrase carries an almost dangerous level of intimacy. When a woman says, "You get me," she's not just complimenting your listening skills. She's admitting that she feels seen, understood, and emotionally connected. And in the female psyche, emotional connection is the gateway to sexual attraction. Here's the truth. Women crave to be understood on a deeper level. Most men only skim the surface of conversations, talking about facts, events, or basic details. But when a man makes a woman feel truly understood, he penetrates her emotional layers. That penetration of the mind often precedes the desire to be physically penetrated. When she says, "You get me," what she's really saying is, "You're different from the rest. You see me in a way that excites me and makes me want more of you." That kind of validation isn't casual, it's deeply personal. Picture this moment. You're having a conversation with her about something meaningful. Maybe she's sharing a frustration, a dream, or a vulnerable memory. You respond in a way that shows you're not just listening, but truly resonating. She pauses, looks at you with softer eyes, and says, "Wow, you just get me." That's not just admiration, that's arousal disguised as emotional connection. Mini summary. When she tells you that you get her, it's a verbal slip that reveals trust, intimacy, and attraction all in one. It's her subconscious saying, "I want to let you in deeper." The fifth subtle thing she'll say when she secretly wants you sexually is, "I feel different when I'm with you." This phrase is one of the most revealing, and one of the easiest to overlook. On the surface, it sounds vague. But think carefully. Why would a woman feel the need to point out that she feels different with you? It's because you've triggered something inside her that most men cannot. Here's the psychology. Women are surrounded by men every day. At work, at school, on social media, attention is everywhere. But attention is not connection. Most men make a woman feel the same. Bored, predictable, unimpressed. But when you stand out, when your energy shifts her emotional state, she feels compelled to acknowledge it. "I feel different with you" isn't just a compliment, it's a confession. What does different really mean? It means her body reacts to you in ways she can't fully explain. Maybe her heart beats faster, maybe she feels a nervous excitement, maybe her body warms up when you're close. This is the chemistry of attraction. She may not say, "I'm turned on right now," but by telling you she feels different, she's admitting that her body and emotions don't respond to you like they do with other men. Picture this, you're walking with her at night, and she glances at you with a shy smile before saying, "I don't know why, but I feel so different when I'm with you." That isn't a random comment. That's her subconscious verbalizing desire. She doesn't want to scare you away by being too direct, but she's signaling clearly, "You affect me in a way that excites me." Mini summary, "I feel different with you," is her coded way of saying that you've awakened her sexual chemistry. She feels sensations she doesn't feel with other men, and that difference is her way of saying she craves more. Now, the sixth subtle thing she'll say is even more revealing. "I've never told anyone this before." This phrase is pure intimacy. When a woman says this, she's not just sharing a story, she's exposing her vulnerability. And here's the truth. Vulnerability is one of the most erotic forms of connection. Why? Because when she trusts you with something private, she's silently telling you that she feels safe enough to let her guard down. Psychology backs this up. Self-disclosure, sharing secrets, fears, or hidden desires, creates closeness. And closeness is what transforms attraction into intimacy. When she whispers, "I've never told anyone this before," she's inviting you into her inner world. And the deeper you go into her inner world, the closer you are to being invited into her physical world. Think about it. A woman could keep things surface level. She could talk about her day, the weather, or something shallow. But when she chooses to reveal something raw, she's not just passing time, she's escalating intimacy. And here's the twist. Often, these confessions are laced with emotion. Maybe it's a secret dream, maybe it's a childhood memory, maybe it's even a fantasy she's never admitted. Either way, the act of sharing it with you is her way of saying, I want you to see all of me. Picture the scene: you're sitting close, maybe in a quiet room, and she looks down for a moment before saying softly, I've never told anyone this before, but that moment is charged. It's her way of opening the door and seeing if you'll step through. The more she shares, the deeper the trust. And the deeper the trust, the closer desire pulls her toward you. Mini summary: I've never told anyone this before is her giving you the key to her inner world. It's a dangerous level of closeness, and it's always a precursor to intimacy. She's not just talking, she's emotionally undressing in front of you. The seventh subtle thing she'll say when she secretly wants you sexually is, I don't want this to end. This is the ultimate giveaway. Out of all the phrases we've covered, this one is the clearest sign that she doesn't just enjoy your company, she desires it. She craves more of you, and she's scared of the moment slipping away. Now, understand something. Women live for moments of emotional intensity. They remember how you made them feel more than the words you spoke. And when she says, I don't want this to end, it's her subconscious trying to extend the moment of intimacy. It might be during a deep conversation, a late-night walk, or a simple hangout, but beneath those words lies a powerful message: I'm not ready to let go of this energy we're sharing. Think carefully about the psychology here. When a woman is indifferent, she's quick to leave. She makes excuses, she checks the time, she disengages. But when she wants you, she lingers. She looks for reasons to stay longer. She tries to stretch the night out, to squeeze more time in your presence. That's not casual, that's desire pressing against her self-control. Picture this: you've been sitting with her for hours. The conversation has flowed, laughter has filled the air, and maybe the silences between words have grown heavier, more charged. As the night winds down, you glance at the clock, but she leans in and softly says, I don't want this to end. Right there, you've reached the point of no return. She's not hiding anymore. She's telling you that being with you excites her so much, she doesn't want to break the spell. And here's the hidden layer: I don't want this to end isn't just about time. It's about connection. It's about wanting to hold on to the chemistry that's been building. She may not yet say, I want you, but in her feminine language, that's exactly what she's confessing. Mini summary: when she says she doesn't want the moment to end, she's laying her desire bare. It's not about words, it's about the emotional hunger underneath them. And if you know how to recognize it, you'll never mistake her intention again. Conclusion. So let's bring this all together. If a woman secretly wants you sexually, she won't always say it directly. Instead, she'll speak in code, subtle phrases that carry layers of hidden meaning. She'll say, I feel so comfortable around you. Trust is the doorway to intimacy. You always make me laugh. Pleasure links directly to desire. I was thinking about you earlier. You've invaded her imagination. You just get me. Emotional intimacy unlocks physical attraction. I feel different when I'm with you. Chemistry is undeniable. I've never told anyone this before. Vulnerability is foreplay. And finally, I don't want this to end, the ultimate confession of her desire. When you start to recognize these signals, you'll realize that women are always communicating their attraction. They may not say, I want you right now, but their words, layered with psychology, emotion, and hidden desire, reveal everything you need to know. Now here's the truth, brother. Attraction isn't about chasing. It isn't about trying to impress. It's about awareness. It's about standing in your masculine presence, calm, confident, and controlled, so that when she drops these hints, you don't miss them. Because here's the hard reality: most men will miss these signs. They'll think she's being friendly, polite, or casual. They'll overthink it, hesitate, and let the moment slip away. But the man who understands, the man who hears her words for what they truly mean, he doesn't hesitate. He steps into the moment. He leads with quiet confidence. And that's the difference between being forgotten and being desired. So remember this. Women won't always say it outright. But if you know how to listen, really listen, you'll never again be confused about her intentions. You'll know when she wants you. You'll know when her desire is silently pulling her toward you. And when that moment comes, it's your responsibility to lead with strength, clarity, and confidence. Because attraction isn't about words, it's about energy. And once you can read her subtle signals, you'll never have to wonder again. So the next time she says, I feel comfortable, or I don't want this to end, understand this, she's not just speaking. She's confessing. And if you're the man who can read between the lines, you'll never miss your chance again. Stay sharp, stay confident, and above all, stay in control.